Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. By the way, it's Christmas season. If any of you want some merch, I have mugs for the New American Media, coasters for the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, and pins for the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Ohio-made wooden coasters, $30 a set or 2 for $50. Pins are $25, mugs are $40. All that includes your continental USA shipping. If you want any of this good stuff, let me put it up at the bottom of the screen. You can just shoot a Venmo to Brian Engelman. Where is that link here? With all of our... There we go. I'll have to switch this, actually. But if you want some merch, go ahead and send something over, and we will mail those out to you. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere out there to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Wednesday, December 24th, otherwise known as Christmas Eve, 2025. And you have joined us here on Strictly Football, brought to you by the New American Media, because the old American media has failed. We're going to discuss a very interesting week in football this past week. Some incredible games. Green Bay, the Bears, what's going on with the Colts and the Buccaneers. We're in the fantasy football championship week. Playoff position is finalized. All the lousy teams are starting to bench their best players. It's playoff football season, and we're going to break it all down on today's show with Mike Bara, Jim Mitchell, and Ez'Ryel Robinson. So buckle up, because today's show starts now.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Yeah, it's the holiday season, and we remember all the times that we had with our loved ones and friends, and in that intro right there, that guy that says, it's the Unhappy Hour. Rest in peace to Sean Flynn, who helped launch the Unhappy Hour 14 years ago. Up in heaven there with my brother who made the music for that show intro. Rest in peace, Christopher. So yes, it's a time of gathering. It's a time of joining with new family, friends, neighbors, all of those things. It's Christmas season. Welcoming in Mr. Mike Bara, part of the Strictly Football family. Happy to have you again, sir. How you doing today?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? It's good to be here. Talk about some football, and what an exciting week of games it was. Great games, and a lot of things got decided. A few things haven't yet been decided, but we're getting closer and closer to a resolution. And yeah. And are those girls on the video? Are they clones or are they triplets? Because
I'm sensing some slight distinctions between
so
them.
Triplets, maybe more like triplets. Yeah.
In
Minnesota, when I lived there were these triplet girls who posed for Playboy. They called them the striplets in Minneapolis, and they look just like those girls. Maybe this is their new gig 20 years ago.
The striplets. That is a great nickname. I do love it. Make no candy cane jokes or Christmas tree jokes. Those jokes do write themselves. But Mike, you were saying that things were decided. What was decided this week?
Well, some team
playoffs. Don't talk
your
about
team.
playoffs. You kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
I just hope we can win a game.
I wish I could win a game as a Browns fan. But then again, this time of year, I just want to lose out and get those.
Well,
back.
You know what? You ruined my betting ticket. Maybe you should just be happy with that, Brian.
All right, I'll be happy with it. Let's welcome in Jim Mitchell in Jigba. I think there he is. Look at this. Look at Jim in his festive holiday attire. That's good old Saint Nick on the tie there. Welcome, Jim.
Welcome, guys. Good morning.
Nice to have you with us.
Happy to have you, sir. Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys and your Seahawks. Izzy and I, we're just struggling with the reality of what we call football. Izzy, Merry Christmas Eve, sir. Happy to have you.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
Good, and y'all?
Yeah, enjoying this time off. You know, it's like Izzy would be on school break right now, except he graduated. So you don't have that hassle. But it's weird now, isn't it? Your whole schedule's weird.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get used to it.
Exactly. Well, this is what we're used to every week, is discussing the NFL. And I think what we want to do is start with God, there were so many good games. Izzy, let me ask you that. What do you think was the best game of last week? There's a couple to choose from.
The Rams, Seahawks.
All right, then let's start Rams and Seahawks. Let me pull this up on the screen here. By the way, please hit like, hit subscribe, however you are watching, to TNAM Football on X, the Unhappy Hour in the other places. All right. Well, Mike is on this save screen. So let's – oh, wait. Nope. There he is. 38-37. My goodness. What an epic game. Oh, he's got the shirt on. Hold on. Is that your Hans?
This is Hans Gruber.
Nakatomi Plaza?
Tonight is the night. The Nakatomi Plaza Christmas party is tonight. Don't forget to watch that. It's not Christmas till Hans Gruber falls. So I got a bunch of ugly Christmas sweaters, which I will be wearing at different times during the day. Right.
Love it. Speaking of something that you love, my God, Mike, this was a barn burner overtime 38-37 victory by your Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
What did we learn here?
I don't know what we learned. We learned that these teams are very equal. They're very good teams. I said I thought the winner of this game was going to win the Super Bowl, so I guess that means I'm saying the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I think there were a lot of things that played out in this game. Get this. Over the two games they've played, the Rams have 830 yards in offense. Seahawks have 829. The Rams have, I believe, 58 points scored, and the Seahawks have 56 points scored. So there is 1 or 2 points difference, and 1 yard difference. But get this, and this is, I think, really important, Jim, for the third matchup, assuming it happens, somebody doesn't stub their toe along the way. Turnover ratio is 7-1 in favor of the Rams. Now, I'm just going to tell you this right now. If the turnover ratio was 4-4, 4-3, 2-2, or if the Seahawks had a 7-1 advantage, the Seahawks would be 2-0. They would not be 1-1, and they would curb stop the Rams. So I'm just going to say that. I think that's the most significant thing to watch if they play a third game does Sam Darnold turn the football over. About this particular game, tremendous character in the comeback. I mean, it just shows that, they were down 30-14 in the fourth quarter, didn't give up, kept playing, made some crazy plays. There was the lateral play, which technically, I guess, was a correct ruling, but it was a bizarre play.
So weird and awesome. And
so weird.
I love when those weird plays happen, and I just yell, oh my God. When you see it on the replay, you go, they are actually going to make the right play. And you got to wait 5 minutes to play out, but you go, I saw what I saw. That was a live ball.
It was what? Yeah, it was a live ball. I don't think Charbonnet knew it was a live ball when he picked it up. Or really thought about it, but he did. Charbonnet? Did I get that wrong?
He said Charbonnet.
Jim
No, that's correct.
But I was over at Jim Mitchell's house, and we didn't know what the outcome of the score, the 2-point conversion was, and you had to do that because the defense was not stopping the Rams. If the Seahawks took the extra point and tied the game up, the Rams are going to get a field goal because we couldn't stop their passing game because our number 2, number 3, and number 4 defensive backs were out of the game at that point. They got injured along the way, so by the fourth quarter and overtime, we were playing our 5th, 6th, and 7th defensive backs. So that's why Puka Nacua was able to score the touchdown in overtime, and a lot of that stuff was going on. So there was no way we were going to stop them from getting, with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left from going down and getting a field goal. So we were all talking about it at Jim's place. They got to go for 2 and try to win the game. And it was funny, Brian, because you were sending me messages and I had to stop because you were like almost a minute ahead of me. right?
Oh no, I was ruining it.
TV, and so I had to stop doing it. But last time I put my phone down, I left it up, and I saw a flash, and I looked down and it said Seahawks win, and none of the other guys knew it. So I was like, yes. So that was cool. But just a game. There's nothing much to tell between the two teams. They're both very well coached. They're both impressive in their own way. And I really think unless something weird happens that they will be playing, to go to the Super Bowl at some point. So it was exciting. It was the biggest Seahawks win since probably Jim 2014 NFC Championship game against the Packers, and just as improbable and just as wild. So I came away as a happy fan, and I think we have a shot at it. It all just depends on how many mistakes or not mistakes Sam Darnold makes, and maybe he got the monkey off his back with this win. I don't know. We'll see.
Jim.
Yeah, this game was all over the board as far as the betting perspective when it first opened. It opened the Rams a 1.5 favorite, and it eventually swung all the way to Seahawks being a 1.5 favorite in this game. We knew there was going to be a little bit of inclement weather, and probably the biggest stat to take away from this game was the fact that Matthew is 1-10 straight up in the rain or the snow. So it didn't look like it was going to actually go that way. I mean, the 2-point what was it? It was a backward pass or
the lateral,
lateral. And Mike of course is heavily medicated, and he's up screaming, breaking windows. And
I had a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a problem. Yeah, but anyway, it was a great game to watch. Statistically, I had no money on the game. Mike, you didn't bet the game either, did you?
No, I didn't know what was going to happen, and completely. Knowing me, when it got to 30-14, I probably would have torn my ticket up, even if I had the Seahawks. So.
Yeah, even though we had that stat that Matthew was 1-10 in the rain and the snow, but there was just too many other numbers that just cancel that out. Like the Rams are just super strong in December and January when they finish during the season. I mean, they were 17-2 straight up December and January. So that's why we left the game alone. But yeah, as far as entertainment purposes, yeah, that was a real entertaining game.
And by the way, speaking of entertaining, this was not the best week for me to keep Kenneth Walker on the bench. He eclipsed 100 yards with a touchdown. That's nice. But my goodness, in the fantasy football, what do they call it? Well, I guess the championships are this
and
week.
Another 64 yards receiving too, Brian. So he had 105 yards in offense and touchdown.
3 receptions, 64 yards on top of it. Yeah, Kenneth Walker showed up big. He's not the biggest of stature, but he showed up big when it counted. But man, 459 yards passing from Matt Stafford, 3 touchdowns, no goofs. And holy crap, Puka Nacua, 12 receptions, 225 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's these types of performances in these moments that win people fantasy football championships. Izzy, what did you make of this one right here? Not in your backyard, but your backyard team, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, it was a great game. I thought the Rams had it really like the whole game until the Seahawks started to come back. But yeah, Jim, he said, hold on, wait, my bad. Mike said, yeah, Mike said the teams are pretty equal at the end of the day. I mean, the biggest outlier, in my opinion, really is the defenses. I mean, they're doing as much to suppress a really good offense and offensive players as they can. Well, not so much as the Seahawks. They got 225 to one player, but they still won the game. But it's a team effort, so they came through in overtime, gambled on the 2-point conversion, and they got it. And I mean, yeah, why not? You got to win a game like that. So I just say gamble everything you got towards the end, and they came through with that.
Yeah, and that reminded me how you guys both referenced how close of a game it was. Let me just pull this up here on the screen from the Oliver Stone movie. Any Given Sunday, the 1999 classic. This is Coach Tony D'Amato, Al Pacino's iconic locker room speech about how evenly these two teams are. The quote is, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. That's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow or too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the effing difference between winning and losing, between living and dying. That's how close these teams are matched up. And congratulations. This was a super exciting game to watch. Just pure entertainment value. This game had it all. Congrats to the 12-3 Seahawks. I mean, that was the separating game. Obviously, they got to finish the season, but that could be the difference between the number 1 seed and all of the West now. We'll see how it shakes out. Let's go to the other final in overtime. This game was incredible too. Mike, the Chicago Bears, this was one of those, it could go either way for the division lead. The Bears get the win, 22-16 over the Packers, who dropped to 9-5-1, while the Bears improved to 11-4. They got this one done somehow.
That was an exciting game. And again, I got to watch this in a new bar that I found, Nevada State Brew Pub or something. It was fun. The beer was great. The wings were good. And it was an exciting game. And look, Caleb Williams, fourth quarter, you better watch out because the guy has ways to make plays. And he seems to have that quality that you look for of a guy who can make plays. You got to give a lot of praise to Malik Willis stepping in for Jordan Love after he got busted up.
For sure. He did very good. I was impressed.
He did, but he also hurt himself in the game. And, but I think he'll get a shot to start somewhere next year, probably based on that performance. Again, two fairly equal teams slugging it out. And just in the end, Caleb made a fantastic throw in overtime. You can't say anything other than that about it. You can joke about his fingernails all you want, but I mean, he came through when he had to. And it was an exciting finish and very similar to the Thursday night game in the sense that it looked like it was over. And then all of a sudden the Bears just put it together and won the game.
Jim.
Yeah, going into this game, the Bears 10-2 straight up. So Chicago was definitely the play in this. Again, I didn't bet this game. I don't know if Mike did, but a stat that was found just prior to the game, I don't think we put it out on the show last week. Teams that play in Denver, 1-5 straight up and 0-6 the week after against the spread. The Packers were that team going into this game. So 0-6 against the spread the week after. The play was definitely Chicago in this game. And had I had that information prior to hitting the sports book, I probably would have taken a taste of this game. But
I wonder what the reason for that is. Let's speculate a little bit. I mean, do you think that the altitude sickness, there's a thing called altitude sickness that you can get, and I wonder if that had some lingering effects or something.
Yeah, I think it does. I just think it exhausts the hell out of you, and I know that.
Hey, yeah, we got to take a pause here. We have to pay tribute here. You're doing
I'm just going to change periodically through the show. Not trying to get attention.
As long as you're changing your shorts at the same time, Mike.
There you
go. Yeah. No. But there was a player that could not travel to Denver because he had sickle cell. I believe it was Ryan Clark, was it?
Yeah.
Not?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it was Ryan Clark, but it was about 8 or 10 years ago.
I think it was. So he wouldn't get on the plane when the Steelers would have to play Denver in Denver. I don't think he played within division. So he wouldn't have to do that once a year. But I remember that, and I believe it was Clark that had to.
It was Ryan Clark, former Steelers safety, later Redskins player, NFL player most famously associated with not playing in Denver's Mile High Stadium, now in Power Field, due to complications from sickle cell trait. In 07 game against the Broncos in Denver, Clark suffered a severe splenic infarction, Gesundheit, tissue death in the spleen, which was triggered by the high altitudes, lower oxygen levels interacting with his sickle cell trait. Hospitalized, lost significant weight, and had his spleen and gallbladder surgically removed. It nearly cost him his career and was life-threatening. So the result was, under Mike Tomlin, they held him out of subsequent games in Denver for health reasons, including a 2011 playoff loss to the Broncos and a 2012 regular season game. Clark never played in Denver again after the 07 incident. Interesting point there.
So it was Clark, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Look at the head on Jim. But anyway, this game I laid off of. Had I had that information prior, I think Mike and I might have dipped our toe in the water on this game. But Packers Bears. The Packers. We talked about this. They with Rodgers chant, I own you guys, and that's true. I mean, the Packers were 12-1 straight up versus the Bears going into this game. And how could you possibly, take Chicago based on that information? But based on the information as far as teams playing in Denver and then playing the week after, it don't work. So we're gonna look at that trend probably, the next 2 weeks in the regular season and also in the playoffs.
Kenneth in the comments is suggesting we call them the Denver Omelets from now on. Let's do that. All right, we'll keep an eye on that trend.
Let's not.
Izzy, there's a couple storylines here. Emmanuel, I like seeing the backup running back, Emmanuel Wilson, 82 yards on the ground, getting more carries than Josh Jacobs, who fumbled it away, and Malik Willis jumping in. I mean, there's a bit of a changing of the guard there. I thought the Bears were playing a little. I'm all for aggressive, but it did to me appear as though the Bears were trying to hurt the two quarterbacks. Aggressive, tough play is one thing. I felt like I was watching something a little more. What stood out to you in this game? What was the difference in the Bears win?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was probably the mindset of the team going in, knowing what they were facing, especially with the rivalry the two teams have. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised the Bears won. I mean, the main reason I would have chose the Packers, but you did say beforehand that their two receivers were out, Luther Burden and Rome Odunze. So DJ Moore stepped up big, especially with the game-winning touchdown, and everybody else, especially the tight ends that they got, also the running backs for the Bears. But yeah, I mean, what's this? The second week in a row now Jordan Love's got hurt. I could have sworn he got hurt another game within the past 3 weeks, something like that. But it's just a tough loss for the Packers. I think they're out of contention for most likely, I think, for the first seed in the NFC North.
They're also out of quarterbacks.
Jordan Love and Malik Willis.
Malik Willis injured his shoulder, and he's day-to-day.
So who are they going to go with if he can't? Who's their third?
Art Starr.
Art Starr.
He's dead, Jim.
All right, I'll look
that word with Dr. McCoy. He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
Damn it, Jim. He's dead.
Damn it, Jim. He's a third stringer, not an NFL starter. All right. Well, so one of us will look that up and try to figure out who is going to go for the Packers if Malik Willis and Jordan Love are unable to. Do we know, is Jordan Love out as well? Do we know? Anyway, I'll have to take a look when we do the.
We don't know if Love's going to play this week, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a look. Let's keep it running here because we're going to try to do the fastest, most abbreviated, jam-packed NFL football show of the week. Thank you all for being here on Strictly Football Season 2, Episode 22. I watched this game. This was my punishment. I don't know what I did in a previous life, but no, I mean, there were some positives here. The very first drive, Shedeur Sanders led the Browns downfield, and they looked fantastic. They looked better on offense than they have for most of the year. but then it sort of stalled out and did what it sort of normally does, which is a whole lot of not that much. 2 touchdowns in the game. Shedeur was 20 of 29, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, that's always going to hurt you. But we're down Quinshawn Judkins. Unfortunately, I mean, he was perhaps one of the best running backs taken in this draft. Dislocated ankle, broken fibula. They said all things considered, because it wasn't reconstructive knee damage, he should be set to come back for next year, but just a horrible injury. Browns played him close. Browns had some chances. The Buffalo Bills are an 11-win team. They're one of the best in the AFC, period. And it was a 3-point game. We maintain our draft position. The Tennessee Titans beat the Chiefs, so that helps the Browns. The Giants have to play the Raiders next week, so we're probably going to be the number 2 draft pick right now. And we got to make a decision. I don't know. We've seen some good stuff out of Shedeur, but we also don't have wide receivers or an offensive line. So can we really accurately judge him? I don't know. This time of the year kind of sucks being a Browns fan, Mike, because we're rooting for draft picks. We're rooting to see progress and development. You get stupid injuries. I don't know, man. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it blew up 2 of my betting tickets because I thought the Bills were going to win relatively comfortably, because I thought the Bills were serious. The Bills are not a serious football team. They're not seriously good. Josh Allen couldn't lift them up when he needed to, and I feel like there's an injury there. I feel like there's a physical problem with Josh Allen that they're not telling us about, or at least they're not emphasizing significantly. So he just was very off in his performance. Shedeur looked okay. I mean, Shedeur, I don't know, he broke the tip off his pinky or something, but it
looked like maybe the whole thing came off. I mean, it was gross.
Kudos to him for coming back and finishing the game.
That's like one of the worst injuries. Like you would be called such a, your pinky hurts.
Yeah.
What is your pinky? Rip off a finger. You tell me what, like, I don't care what you get an injection with. That's it. And that was his throwing hand too. So wait, you're on mute. You went on mute. Mike is on mute. Yes, I think he brushed it with his elbow.
I did brush it. Yeah.
What were you saying? You're doing the claw.
Well, just so good for Shedeur to come back and stuff. I don't know if he's the answer in Cleveland, but they got to consider whether he's the guy next year. They do. We'll see.
Yeah, Mendoza and the kid from Oregon, they're going to be sitting there at number 2, especially if the top team doesn't need a quarterback. We'll see.
One of them, and here's the thing that I don't get with people with quarterbacks. So what if you took Trevor Lawrence number 1 last year? So what if you took Cam Ward number 1? If there's another guy that you think can win you a Super Bowl staring you in the face, you take him, because you know what? If the guy you drafted last year can't handle the competition, he's probably not going to win you a Super Bowl. So draft the other quarterback, and people are like, well, you guys too much money invested in the quarterback position. This is the NFL. You can't have too much money invested in the
Yeah, exactly. Next year will be the final season of the Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed 5-year contract. By the way, so yeah, we're gonna be he played 15 games total or something like that. I was looking the other day. Jim, this was a 3-point game. Surprising some. I picked the Browns to win, and we had every opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but were you surprised here? It was this close?
No, I wasn't surprised. I didn't play this game, and I'm going to give my words of wisdom a little early in the show. If you absolutely love a game and you're betting more than one parlay, never, ever put the same team on both tickets.
It was an accident, okay?
Because I know it was an accident. And in fact, right after Mike made the bet, he texted me and he said, I effed up.
Yeah.
And I told him, well, Nevada state gaming laws, once you walk away from the window, the bet stands. There's no changing it.
Yeah. Actually, here's the funny part. The screw up was that I meant to pick the Texans, who didn't cover either. And I ended up picking the Jags, and I'm like, oh, that's a disaster pick. And they did cover and win the game. So that just tells you, Mike, that you can't bet football games because Vegas is smarter.
It happens.
Yeah.
Jim, any more thoughts on this one?
No, not really, Brian.
All right. Well, yeah, today we're flying as fast as we can to jam pack essentially 2 shows into one. So now that some of our favorite teams said, well, we got the Cowboys coming up for Izzy, of course. But Izzy, what'd you make of this? Shador had his finger destroyed and he kept playing and he looked great on that first drive, actually, showing some promise. But what'd you take away from this?
Yeah, I mean, I asked Jim the week prior, would it be smart to take the Browns 10.5? And I don't know if that hit or not. I think it did. I think that that works the way. I think it does. But either way, yeah.
I remember that is. Yeah, if you had to take a side in this game, the way the Bills are playing at the end of the year, you were correct. Go ahead and take the 10.5.
Yeah, because I mean, originally that's a lot of points, but I just had another feeling that the Browns are going to play this one more tough, especially the way the Bills have been playing. But I mean, I knew it was pretty cold. You were saying something about the wind and the weather out there. Josh Allen only threw for 130, Shador 157, 2 interceptions. But one of the interceptions wasn't his fault. But
it was half his fault. He did throw it behind Quinshawn. It wasn't a good throw, but you still have to make the catch. But if you lead him, he's still running as opposed to slowing down, reaching across his body, and it's getting tipped. So
yeah,
I'll give a half interception on that one. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean they tried to fight. Of course, your NFL team, you always want to win, but they really shouldn't be out here looking to win towards the end of the season, trying to get secure a higher draft pick. As far as quarterbacks go, I don't believe, like I keep saying, I don't believe any of the QB stick out to me this year. They're nothing all that special. But I also want to put one more thing out there. I forgot to mention it earlier with the Rams game. Do you guys have like an MVP kind of lock for the season yet? Because for me, it's looking a lot like Matthew Stafford at the moment. I don't know about you guys though.
Even in the loss, I mean, he's got to be right at the top of the conversation. We're gonna get to the Buccaneers. Baker started off great. He had his injury and he wasn't great the rest of the. He's
Buccaneers and MVP in the same sentence isn't correct.
Well, in the first 6 games of the year, Baker was absolutely at the top of that.
Yeah,
game.
It's the end of the year though.
Times was too, and then he got injured. Now it's a marathon, not a sprint. And yeah, Stafford's been consistently doing it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else is even in the running for MVP.
I would say Stafford's going to win it. I mean, the politics of it are leaning that way. There was a season you don't remember in 2002 when
the Kiss Ugly Christmas sweatshirt.
When a guy named Chris Mortensen, who used to have an undue influence over other sports writers, was pushing Rich Gannon for MVP. And he also pushed Steve McNair for MVP around that same time, neither one of which were even close to MVP players, but they both won the award. And so that same, even though there's no Chris Mortensen anymore, that same momentum is developing in the sports writing world. And, the sports writers are the ones who pick this award. So I think there's no question Stafford's going to win it. I will say this, if you said, would you trade Sam Darnold for Matthew Stafford for your Seahawks? The answer would be yes. So, if he doesn't win it, who is the MVP? I mean, JSN had a case for a while. Jonathan Taylor had a case for a while.
Yeah, it seems the only other person that people are pushing for is Drake May. And I don't see that happening.
Yeah, they got Stafford, May, and Josh Allen. Those are the 3.
Yeah, and I mean,
Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert.
Not this year for Josh and Drake May. I mean, he has a solid future, but I don't see an MVP player.
No.
Well, hey, let me jump in here with solid future. Just a couple of notes. Myles Garrett did get a half sack, and he is, I believe, 1 sack away from breaking the record. So keep your eye. And you saw it all day with the Bills. They ran away from Myles. They ran the ball. They didn't really throw it much. Maybe Josh is injured, but also James Cook had 2 rushing touchdowns, and he was sort of having his way because they just avoided Myles, and they did enough to get
the weather did play a factor.
No, absolutely. Also, shout out to Carson Schwessinger, 14 more tackles. 5 solo, a sack, tackle for loss, 2 QB hits. I mean, he's Pro Bowl alternate in his rookie year. Carson Schlesinger, middle linebacker, something to keep your eye on for the Cleveland Browns as they continue their never-ending rebuild. Let's do Chargers Cowboys. We'll start with Izzy because that's your team. Izzy, you're officially mercifully eliminated from the playoffs. You dropped to 6-8-1. You lost to the Chargers. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, like I can say, I'm not surprised. I don't watch the game. I mean, like I said, regardless, I'm trying to get the game up. I said, regardless, we're going to give up 27 points. And we did exactly that. And the offense, I really don't know what happened with the offense and scoring points.
I could have used some running yards from Javonte Williams. I lost in my fantasy dynasty league number 2. Javonte was a great running back number 1 for me all year, and he put up 37 yards. What was the 34 yards and no touchdowns. Come on, man, you're killing me, Javonte Williams. And the Chargers, meanwhile, get Omarion Hampton back. He got a touchdown, 16 carries for 85 receptions from Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson. So yeah, Chargers becoming another 11-win team in the AFC, and the Cowboys are going to be focused on draft picks now, Mike.
Yeah, they got some now. Chargers are 11-4. I just don't see it. I see a 10-5, 9-6 team, but they're 11-4. You are what you are, right? Apparently, and they keep winning games. I'm not a big believer in Justin Hebert, and but they managed to get it done. And the Cowboys, they're kind of switching gears and retooling, and maybe this draft will get them the players they need to get back to a more winning ways. I mean, it's funny because Dak statistically, there's nothing wrong with anything Dak does. I mean, there's nothing, but yet they just don't win that many games. And he doesn't make that many big plays when they need him to. And it's not like you can say, oh, look at that stupid decision. It just doesn't happen. And I think possibly, at least I'm going to float this out there, that what's really going on is that people tend to overrate the Cowboys' skill position guys. Maybe their receivers and their running backs and their tight ends just aren't that good. And they just don't do that much with the ball when he gives it to them. Because he gets them the ball in places that they need it to do something, but they just don't do that much. So, I don't know. They got to rebuild. They got not a complete rebuild, but a retool coming to get back in contention next year.
Jim.
Yeah, this is my fifth favorite bet of the week. I went ahead and bet this game. I had the Chargers getting a 1.5. I went ahead and took the Chargers in this game, based only on the fact that the Chargers were 12-1 straight up against teams with losing records going into this game. So, a straight up bet, even if it was a pick 'em, I would have went ahead and took the game, but I was getting a 1.5 in the game. So I went ahead and made this bet. I cashed this ticket. I bet. I didn't bet any parlays this week. I just stuck with betting straight bets, which is just one team on a ticket, getting approximately 11 to 10 for your money. But the Cowboys stats weren't bad going into this game. I mean, the Cowboys were 22-10-1 straight up at home, so they were still a strong home team. But it's like Izzy said. I mean, they were essentially out of contention, and I think when this game was played, they already had the results of the Eagle game, and the Eagles went ahead and won their game. So the Eagles had gone ahead and locked up the NFC least, in this division, and so the Cowboys really had nothing to play for except for their jobs. So I went ahead and took the Chargers and cashed the ticket on this.
The thing is, I guess the point I'm making is I don't know what's wrong with the Cowboys. It's not like a lot of times I'll look at a team and I'll say, you got to go get this and this and fix that. And I look at the Cowboys and I don't know. It seems like you fix the offense and the defense goes to shit. You fix the defense and the offense goes to shit.
Yeah, it's not a quarterback problem either. I think Dak is rated probably the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the league, not the NFC, the league. I mean, he has played really well this year, and it's everything around him. And like you said, Mike, I mean, Dallas' secondary is ass, and that's why they're not winning these games.
The fish rots from the head down. Maybe they need to go look at Jerry Jones. Maybe they won't. I mean, it's been 30 years since they've been in a conference championship.
Well, you should always, when you're putting together a football team, you should always build from the inside out, you know, especially on the offense. And you're talking about the last money that should be paid as far as bringing players in are your George Pickens and your CD Lambs.
Yeah.
CD Lamb is great, but need I say, and we talked about this at the beginning of the season.
Right.
George Pickens' attitude is coming to the surface.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can trade for DK.
I seriously doubt if Jera is going to tolerate his horse shit.
Maybe they can
at the end of the year
for DK Metcalf too.
Oh yeah. There's a step up.
That'd be a good mix. Pickens, Metcalf. Yeah. So I don't know.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's bounce through the games. Try to keep our comments concise as we try to tighten 2 shows into 1 today. Thank you for watching Strictly Football. Eagles win another division championship, improving to 10-5 on the year. Jalen Hurts, 22 of 32 touchdowns, no goof ups. Saquon, 21 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert got touchdowns in the air, and the Washington Mariotas were unable to get the win. Mike Bara, thoughts on this one?
Not much to say. Good game. Solid performance by the Eagles. They were very efficient. They did what they had to do. They ran the ball pretty well. They ran the ball great. They didn't push the ball to pass. Hurts to pass very much. I'm hearing from a lot of delusional Eagles fans on Twitter though about how they're better than the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm like, okay, sure. But they are maybe the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFC for sure. But,
and you know what? They're the champs until they're not, Jim.
Yeah, but they weren't playing anybody. You know,
that's true.
There's this famous in the 1970s. There was these 2 white boxer brothers named Jerry Quarry and Mike Quarry. And Jerry Quarry is famous for losing to Muhammad Ali twice and losing to Joe Frazier twice, and getting his ass beat. Mike Quarry was a light heavyweight. And he was fighting Bob Foster, who was one of the greatest light heavyweight champions of all time. In fact, I think the greatest, right? And Mike Quarry came into the fight 40-0, 40 wins, no losses, 28 knockouts. And they asked Bob Foster, well, why do you think, if you don't take Mike Quarry seriously, why do you think he's undefeated? And he said he's undefeated because he hasn't fought anybody. And that's the same situation. So
I thought you were going to talk about his little brother, Mike Rock.
No.
Rock Quarry. Izzy, hold on. We'll jump to Izzy. You're wearing the Muhammad Ali shirt. You're the boxer amongst us. You're the group member. I took Izzy on a tour of the Muhammad Ali Museum. He's wearing the awesome hoodie there. Do you know about these brothers he's referencing?
No, not at all. The head trainer at my gym, his coach trained Muhammad. No, not Muhammad Ali. I think it was Joe Frazier. It was one of the guys that beat Muhammad Ali either once or twice.
Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, Larry Holmes, but
it was Joe Frazier. Yeah, Smoking Joe.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah, his name Freddie Roach. He's pretty good coach up there. But as far as the Eagles and Commanders game, they did what they had to at the end of the day. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, getting it done, Jim.
Yeah, you're a boxer, is?
Yeah, I've been boxing for like 2.5 years at Wild Card, the one where Pacquiao and Tyson fought at.
Yeah, my brother's a fighter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but if you think my brother can fight, you should see my sister's box. But seriously, folks, which game are we talking about there, Brian?
Eagles division.
Eagles. Yeah, this game was all over the board. This game opened at 6.5. It went to Eagles 7. Best of my knowledge, Lane Johnson didn't play in this game. I didn't watch it. I don't think he did, but just something to look at. Lane Johnson is supposed to be back this week, playing on the O line. Hurts was 6-12 straight up without Lane Johnson. That's why I didn't bet this game. I stayed off the game, even though my heart of hearts, I knew that the Eagles were going to pretty much destroy the Redskins. The Redskins are just walking wounded. Eagles 6-3 straight up against the Redskins. Now straight up there. What are you smiling at, Brian?
Life.
Life. All right. You're going back to the previous joke. But they're now 7-3 straight up versus the Redskins.
They took care of business. We'll see. I mean, people are definitely getting sick of the Eagles like they were getting sick of the Chiefs. Not quite to that level. They both share a Kelsey brother. But
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're good, but like I look at their offense, and I look at their offense against, let's say, Seattle's healthy defense, not the one that played the third and fourth quarters on Thursday. I don't see them scoring more than 17 points against Seattle. I don't see them scoring more than 17 or 20 points against the Rams. So
yeah, I agree.
I don't think they can win in the playoffs scoring 17 points.
Yeah, I was gonna say extra Twitter is pretty funny to see all the Eagles fans after games. Like they'll win, but they'll be so mad at the team.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Are the Eagles worthy of a playoff team?
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Win a game.
Yeah. The Eagles doing Eagles things. And look, we're talking about how annoying it is having the Kelsey brothers in the playoffs now. But look, how nice is it that the Chiefs are out of the playoffs? I'm so happy I don't have to see Taylor Swift. I don't have to hear, I'm just sick of Mahomes, whatever. Look, this game, I called it. KC is going to rest everybody. They finally get their first postseason break in like 500 years. Of course, they're going to have nothing to play for. They didn't show up. The freaking Tennessee Titans beat them 26-9, which is an enormous Christmas gift to Cleveland Browns fans because we lost to the Tennessee Titans earlier in the year. We therefore have the tiebreaker, and this boosts us up another draft position. Mike, let's start with you.
Yeah, and they're moving to Kansas. Word came out. Remember a couple of years ago, Trump, after one of the Chiefs wins, he posted something like, "Congratulations to the folks in Kansas City, Kansas," and then all the Chiefs fans got all riled. Well, maybe he saw the future. I don't know. They got a new stadium coming. It's going to take away their outdoor home field advantage. There's no way it's going to be as loud as Arrowhead. But, they're going to be in a rebuild mode. I don't see Kels coming back next year. I don't know why he would. And the best part was, look, they gave up
for 5 guys.
They gave up. They got their butts kicked by a terrible team. And that shows you how important Mahomes is to them. I think really seriously shows how important Mahomes is. And he brings everything in terms of their intensity and competitiveness, and he can win games all by himself. And I just was like you, Brian. I was really happy that even while I was watching the highlights of the game, not one shot of Taylor Swift, because she did not go to Nashville to sit in a box and watch her boyfriend get his ass kicked by the second or third worst team in football.
By the way, as Izzy was showing off his Muhammad Ali hoodie there, let's see the bat. Kenneth says you're rocking the bat, a new Christmas sweater here from Mike Bara, the Mike Bara sweater collection, rocking the bat. Nice. Izzy, the Titans get the win, but should they have tried to lose this one?
Yeah, I chose them to win, the NFL picker. But as far as should they have won? Coach has to win the game, and they won. If you look at draft position, teams really aren't allowed to tank, but it's not much you could do against a team that has no morale in them. So
nothing to fight for, right?
Yeah. Speaking for the Chiefs, they're having a Chris Aludicon start for Christmas. Max Brosmer starting for the Vikings on Christmas, and Josh Johnson is starting for the Commanders on Christmas.
Oh wow!
So
I can't wait.
There's some decent quarterback play going on for Christmas Day.
That's a great.
It's Merry Christmas to the fans of the other teams. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this one. Jim will join us in a moment here. Look, I don't know how much we want to say. The Miami Quinn Ewers lost this one, getting more than doubled up. Cincy winning some meaningless games, but it's nice to see him scoring 45. They're fun to watch. Mike, thoughts?
Well, it's funny. I was really looking forward to Quinn Ewers playing, and then I completely forgot he was playing. I thought, oh, Tua sucks, man. They lost again for 45-21. It just shows you there's no difference there. I don't think. I mean, I think Tua probably would have played better. This is nothing but getting first team reps for Quinn Ewers to see if there's anything to build on. That's what they're doing. I got nothing else to say about this game. There's nothing significant about it whatsoever.
Yeah, it took the Bengal. I have this app called the Real app. Mike, you should try getting it. In my opinion, I like it. It's like it's not like social media, but it's like a live chat for the game. So like, you go in, you click on a game, and then it's live stats. Because I stopped using ESPN because it's just not good on tracking stats. And they'll give you the live stats, the play-by-play, and it'll be like, 46-yard bomb, and then you could click on a play, and then it's a bunch of gambling heads talking about, that's not the person that I need the ball to go to, or they'll be like, this guy's trash. It's pretty funny. So it's called Real if you wanted to look into it.
Real, okay.
Yeah, but as far as that, the guys on Real, they were kicking in on Cincinnati because it took them till the second half to get rolling. I mean, they were only up by 3 in the first half, and I'm like, whoa, this is closer than expected. That the Bengals not come to show up, and they came to show up in the second half, and Joe Burrow threw for 309 and 4 TDs. Nothing special as far as the Dolphins. Quinn Ewers with 2 picks, and it doesn't change the fact who they play at QB. So.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I needed Jamar Chase to do a lot better as the cornerstone of both my dynasty leagues. Once again, no touchdowns in this game. Yeah, 109 yards in the air, 9 receptions. But
19 fantasy points ain't bad.
I mean, it's okay, but it's not really, I need you to get me through this playoff win. But it is what it is.
Sounds very ungrateful. There's some guys rocking with some randoms in the playoffs right now.
I am very ungrateful because I needed him to give me a little bit more, and I'm out. I'm all out.
Oh, okay.
I played 4 fantasy leagues. I was in 2 playoffs, and now I'm down to 0. But congrats to the Bengals for getting a meaningless win over the Dolphins for draft position. Because look, 5-10 versus 6-9, that's going to make a difference. They're going to be drafting behind them now. All right, Saints and Jets. Look at that. The Saints, another one. This guy killed me. Chris Olave. I traded him in my dynasty league 2 years ago because I was playing for a playoff push, a championship run that I did win. But Olave had 2 touchdowns from Tyler Shuck, your favorite new quarterback, Mike. Tyler Shuck, he's doing okay.
Tyler Shuck, good. He's developing. He's coming along. I don't think you can say anything else than that. Is that you got to look at that for next year. And where are the Saints? Yeah, the Saints are all the way back in 8th in the draft order, so I don't think a quarterback's going to fall to him anyway. So look to build the rest of your roster and see what Tyler Shuck can bring for you next year, because that's the only notable thing to me about this game.
New York Jets.
Wait a minute. The Jets are ass.
And the Jets are definitely looking for a quarterback, is he?
Yeah. Tyler Shuck, he's playing good. He's embracing the NOLA, Louisiana lifestyle. The fans like him a lot because of that. And they got one against the Jets. The Jets stink. This is the only team, in my opinion, I see trying to reach out for a quarterback like Fernando Mendoza, who I don't believe is that great to be a first-round quarterback. But yeah,
they're just the most desperate.
But I mean, I think he goes top 5. I think he might even.
Off of just strictly the Heisman he just won. I mean, it wasn't the greatest Heisman case in the longest, but I mean, he has to go top 5 to QB needy team just to see if he'll pan out. But from what I've seen, compared to other quarterbacks from years prior, draft classes and all that.
Well, Jackson Dart was only 7 of 13, no touchdowns and an interception. The Giants fall 13-16 to the J.J. McCarthy's over there with 9 of 14, no touchdowns and an interception, Mike. Less than inspiring quarterback play from some underperforming teams. Any thoughts?
Two of the worst teams in football. The Giants are just the Vikings suck less than the Giants. That's the only difference. JJ McCarthy is not it. He's injured again. This is his third significant missing games injury in 2 years. He is clearly not the answer. You should have signed Aaron Rodgers when you had the chance, because you got some really good receivers who simply aren't getting the ball, and they're sure as shit not going to get it from Max Brosner. And Jackson Dart, talk about a flame out. How do you flame out in your first year? That's got to be one of the worst quarterback performances I've seen, period. I mean, that's Max Brosner level bad from Jackson Dart. And just to like laugh, you really thought that guy was the problem? New York fans? Really? Brian Dable? You thought Russ was the problem? You really think you would have only won 2 games if Russ was your quarterback? No. And Jackson Dart has been in concussion protocol 5 times this year. He's not the answer. It doesn't look like. Now, I don't want to bail on a guy his first year before he even has 20 starts under his belt, especially a guy who can run pretty well, which Jackson Dart can. But that's not even a professional performance. I mean, Izzy, you and I could go out there and probably be 7 of 13.
Oh, I know I could. I know I could. Yeah.
Quarterback rating. I probably couldn't do a whole lot worse. And my hands aren't even big enough to grip a football, so I'd have to do the Phillip Rivers thing and just push it at people.
Push it.
I mean, it's like it warms my heart to watch Jackson Dart fall on his face. To the point that I've been attempting to torture Mark Schlereth on Twitter all week.
There's one thing in the sports world that you could compare this Jackson Dart game to, unfortunately, is the NBA. A star player would go out there and get 0 points, and they'll be like, man, I dropped the same amount of points as that player, and I'm on the couch at home. And it's like, what are you doing? I did the same thing as you, and I'm sitting at home watching you. So it's like 7 for 13, 33 yards and an interception. It just breaks my brain to comprehend how a quarterback could throw less than 50 yards in a 4-quarter NFL game and get 7 completions. It's absolutely wild. I mean, they did ride the run game. Singletary with 11 carries, Tyrone Tracy with 16, but it's unfathomable in my brain. The Jets games were frying me earlier this year with Justin Fields. Yeah. But JJ McCarthy, he gets injured again. He's not going to play next week. And Max Brosmer, he comes in. He plays better than the first game he's played in. So, the Giants, they're done for. They're looking at a top 5 draft position.
Maybe number 1.
Or the Giants. Yeah, they are. And then the Vikings, they're in the middle of the road. So
this reminds me of a story that's way before your time. 1981 NBA draft, right? The Supersonics won the NBA title in 1979. Magic Johnson leads the Lakers to the NBA title in 1980. Sonics have the 4th pick in the draft. There's guys like Rolando Blackman, who became a 7-time All-Star, Tom Chambers, who should be in the Hall of Fame, white guy who could run and jump like nothing you've ever seen.
Tom Chambers.
Scored 63 points on the Sonics one time to take some revenge. And they draft a guy named Danny Vrains, who was on the same Utah State team as Tom Chambers. So they would have scouted the team. And this guy averaged like 2.8 points per game and like 1 assist and 1 rebound for like an 8-year career. Danny Vrains. Oh, but he was a great defensive player. So they drafted this guy. He's a stiff white Mormon dude. And all my friends who believed in the Sonics, I'm like, how the fuck can you draft Danny Vrains when you're looking at the same team and you see Tom Chambers out there? And they were like, well, he does things you can't see in the box. I'm like, the problem is it's the things you see in the box score that win basketball games, and the same rule applies to Jackson Dart. I don't care about the things you do that aren't in the box score, Jackson. I don't care about your leadership. 7 of 13 for 33 yards and a 27.4 quarterback rating is unacceptable for a professional. And oh my God, Izzy, do you realize if you took every snap and just drilled it into the ground with a higher passer rating than 27.4, you'd be like 38 or 39? Oh my god!
Yeah, that was what Jalen Hurts did the other week or two ago.
Yeah. It's like what?
Yeah, the box score that's killing me is Justin Jefferson. Another 0 touchdown game. Killed my fantasy league. Him and Jamar Chase are just so underperformed. It's been brutal. It's so hard to win a fantasy.
You sound like a spoiled brat.
I sound like a guy who's playing for a fantasy football playoff and I got knocked out. Spoiled brat. Well, because you can't not start him, but you know he's not going to give you what you need.
You could bench him.
How do you know? You ride the ones that took you there. You dance with the girl that you dance with the guy that brought you to the whatever.
Yeah, you're starting the guy that has 9 at QB for him, throwing him the ball, 9 throwing him the ball. So I mean, I bench my star wide receivers when they have a donut coming up the next week. Quentin Johnson, he sold me multiple times 0 points, and he's on the bench. You got to make executive decisions to win games.
Executive decisions. Well, hey, how about this executive decision? Izzy, take the. Oh, here's Mike. Mike's back. Another. Was this
did I
alien
say?
Christmas shirt?
Yeah, this is aliens and Bigfoot and cows being abducted.
Oh, that's great. That's so you. That's very you, Mike. Let's talk about the quarterback that was abducted. Healthy Baker Mayfield is no longer with us. This game was close, and it was maybe for the division lead. And my goodness, Mike, Carolina had just enough, and Baker threw one dumb interception. What do we walk away with here?
It's those dumb Baker interceptions that will kill you. You love him and he carries you, and then he'll do something dumb. It's about a 3-to-1 ratio. It's not like it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, or 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio. But this is one of those games where you just couldn't afford to have a below average game from Baker, and you got one. And I do think he's injured.
Yeah.
Playing through a lot of injuries. Bryce Young was good enough. I was kind of rooting for the Panthers because now everything for them comes down to the last game of the year against Tampa. So they're going to be a little less motivated to go crazy on the Seahawks this weekend, who's got to travel to Carolina to play. And it's always tough to play at 10 a.m. That's about what I have to say about it. It was a close game between two kind of banged up teams, and in the end, the Panthers won.
Izzy? Ez'Ryel, you there?
I don't think he's there. I think we're going to go with you.
I'm just sad. I'm just sad. I don't know. I'm a big Baker guy. You know that. And this game just hurt. If they don't win that division, they're not going to the playoffs. That's obvious. I was hoping they could make the playoffs, but
I just think
it just kind of seems like they're not going to make the playoffs now, Mike. It just sort of seems like they're not. The Baker Mayfields might not make the playoffs now.
I think I just think that
I'm aiming at you to press play on the video.
Yeah,
because Baker might miss the thing.
What's that?
I said he might miss the. I said he might miss the
playoffs.
Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
We lost Izzy again.
Playoffs? Don't talk
Baker
about
might miss
playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
He could.
I just hope we can win a game.
They have Mike Bucky Irving, Rashad White back for the running game. They have Emeka Ibuka, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Tez John. They got all their people healthy now except Baker. Like is that shoulder messed him up. He has not, from that hit forward, he hasn't been the same quarterback. And that happened in Cleveland. We watched it. It was brutal to watch. He's a fighter. He's going to tough it out, but he's not the same. And that's where we find ourselves. All right. There's Jim in the background somewhere. Jim can bounce in when he's ready. Izzy popped out, so we'll keep it flying here because we have about 40 minutes left. We got to fly here. What else? Games. Jaguars beat the Broncos. Mike.
Jags-Broncos, Jags played very well. Their defense was solid. They didn't have the fourth quarter tank that I thought they were going to have. And played extremely well and went out of there with an impressive win. They kind of burst the Broncos bubble, and they're all the things they were fighting, the altitude, and Trevor Lawrence just keeps playing better and better and looking more like a real quarterback. So I think it's too late for him to compete for MVP or anything like that. But you got to give him some credit for looking really good and looking like a professional and competitive, and that's all I got to say about it. It's funny because that's the mistake. I accidentally bet the Jaguars, and that's the only game I won on my 2 tickets. So good for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't accidentally bet the Jaguars. I bet the Broncos on purpose, and I just took gas in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, this game was just it just screamed Broncos, and all we can look forward to is the fact that the Jaguars played in Denver at altitude, and we'll see how that stat goes. But Bo Nix 13-2 straight up at home, 10-5 against the spread at home. I mean, this game just screamed Broncos in this game, and the Broncos were originally a 3-point favorite, and it was bet up to 3.5. So the smart money was actually coming in on Denver in this game.
Yeah.
Izzy?
I mean, yeah, I completely agree with the smart money coming in on Denver. I was looking at the stadium where they play, the home game. I don't think they lost a home game this year, and the team that the Jaguars are, and I'm surprised they won. But yeah, Mike did say that Trevor Lawrence is playing better and better, and to score 34 points on the Denver Broncos defense at altitude. Pretty impressive coming into playoffs, because I was making a statement to one of my friends. I'm like, if the Broncos and the Texans meet up in the playoffs, I don't know if the Texans could beat the Broncos at home. And the Jaguars just, I don't know, 34. That's an impressive number. With Parker Washington being the leading receiver, 6 catches, 145 yards. So
I didn't have that on my bingo board. Yeah, I needed a big week out of Travis Etienne Jr. He failed. 16 carries for 50 yards, no touchdowns. Just, God, fantasy football is such a brutal beast.
Talk about a year. I had him last year. God knows what happened with him last year. So,
yeah. All right, let's keep it flying here. Jaguars improved to 11-4. Browns own that pick, and it's just looking more and more like
it's going to be a bottom third of the first round. Yeah.
It's like locked in. It can't be any better.
Just skip this game. Nothing of note. Just skip it. Yeah, forget it.
Falcons, Cardinals, nothing
to say.
All right, let's keep it going. How many of these do we have? Steelers, Lions. This had implications. It was a 5-point win by the Steelers, Mike.
Yeah, surprising. I thought the Lions would needed it more and would take it, but in spite of Jared Goff, 364 yards. 3 touchdowns. He certainly outplayed Aaron Rodgers, but in the end, I think some of the turnovers got him, and they just didn't run the ball. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 yards.
15 team yards of rushing, Mike. 15 total team yards.
That's the key, and that's play calling.
My
and that's
God.
Not Dan Campbell. Who's the head coach? Is it Camp?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. That's him calling the plays, and he just didn't do it right. And
54 passing attempts.
Yeah, and look, I want to say this about those 2 offensive pass interference calls. The first one, Rex Ryan agrees with me, with the pick play was not a pick play. The guy was running a pattern. The defender runs right into him. He was beat anyway. They were beat anyway because they screwed up the coverage. That should not have been called. That should have been a touchdown for the Lions to win that game. And the second one, that was also not offensive pass interference. That was 2 guys grappling and 1 guy separates, but it would have been a ridiculous call if they had allowed Goff to claim the game-winning touchdown there, because forward progress was stopped and the whistle should have been blown dead. So, but I think the Lions should have won on the first OPI call, which is, again, Mr. Referee, why are you insinuating yourself into the game to decide the outcome when you don't need to? Because there was no need for that call. It was an OPI.
Jim?
Is he? Jim?
Yeah.
I
completely agree. There should be some rules implemented in sports where refs can't call certain penalties towards the end of the game because, I mean, we see it a lot in the NBA and NFL, and it's like, well, you can't call that there. One of the biggest things that I've seen was the Chiefs versus Eagles, the Super Bowl, the Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we calling? And led to a touchdown. So, but as far as this game, yeah, go ahead.
It used to be there was the unwritten rule that the refs don't decide the game. You let the players decide the game unless it's so obvious and egregious that nobody can argue with it. And now the NFL's fixed it up so that it's call every little thing and change the outcome of the game. And then that brings into question the integrity of the calls. And it should, because that shouldn't have been called.
And there should be some repercussions as well, like after games for certain bad calls and certain calls. Be like, hey, what you're doing? Like, what are you doing here? But at the end of the day, my dad likes to say it's sports entertainment, so they're gonna do what they got to do to entertain you. But if I were in the playoffs, fantasy playoffs, Jahmyr Gibbs would have been a great day for me. So. Very.
He killed me. He killed me in this one. All of my guys just flubbed when I needed them. Like,
that's what happens. But I'm surprised to see that. I'm like 2 yards.
But that is an interesting point. You say that the refs need to be held accountable. I know in the criminal justice system now, with so many repeat offenders being let out to just keep attacking innocent people, there needs to be some sort of repercussion for the judges. They should have to serve a prison sentence if they let a violent guy out with a known history who commits another violent act. It's like, that's your action that caused that. It's not that person. They should have been caged forever. You knew better. And some of these refs that are making horrible calls, well, where are the repercussions, you know?
And again, you know, people made a big deal out of the Cooper Kupp catch in the Rams game, Seahawks game. And the one ref called, and then a woman ref comes in and she kicks her legs up and goes like this. It's like, she's just doing that to get attention. Okay, if that's what you're doing, you shouldn't fucking be an NFL referee. First of all, because you're a girl, but that's a whole separate argument, which I can make a very compelling statistical case for. But you know, you're right. There's no accountability, and one of the things I will give, as corrupt as European sports is, I will give the English Premier League, this: when a referee screws up, they call it out, and they sometimes suspend the guy for a game or two and say, this was wrong and he should not have done it. And
as well they should.
Well they should in the NFL. Yeah. In fact, I say let's tar and feather officials.
Yeah, not to spend too much time on this game, but this was the play of the week. And I'll own that. You know, and even though there were some bad ref calls. The way this game was played, I don't think the Lions were going to cover the 6.5 in this game, which I laid the 6.5. This was my best bet of the week. I put the most money down on this ticket and did not cash this ticket. So going into this game, the Steelers were 0-10 coming off a short week, and they had played Monday Night Football the week prior, and playing Monday Night Football, you're 11-17-1 against the spread. So this looked like a good game as far as the Lions go. Lions 16-0 straight up after losing a game, and 14-1 against the spread after a loss.
All right.
Is that me? Do I have background here?
Oh, Izzy's getting loud. I'm going to mute him.
That's Izzy.
We'll mute him. Okay. Well, yeah, this one surprised me. Aaron Rodgers has them in control of that division. We'll see if they can outlast the Ravens and make the playoffs again. They're like a game or two above 500, just like your Steelers teams usually are. Just enough to maybe make the playoffs. We'll see. Izzy, we can unmute now. That was loud for a moment there. Okay, let's.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
it's all good. All right. What other games did we have here? Texans. Izzy, we'll start with you. You said that was your lead pipe Zeppelin of the week, right?
Yeah, it was closer than
2 points over the worst team in the league.
Yeah. Can you guys hear the rain in the background? Or no? All right, cool. It's pretty loud out here. But yeah, I mean the Texans. I mean the defense speaks for itself, especially against that offense, and the Ashton Genty has a really, really, really good game. Shows his home run ability behind an O-line. Imagine if he had an O-line this year.
By the way, they've shut down Brock Bowers for the season. Not surprising.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Jawar Jordan was the leading rusher for Houston in this game with 53.
But the Texans got to lock in. They can't let the defense be this close. I mean they can't let the game be this close with the defense they have this late in the season as well. I don't care what team you're playing. So,
Mike, only 2 points separated them there.
Yeah, I took the Texans. I gave the points based on current trends, but I should have known. My brother told me a story. Dave Bara told me he was watching the Raiders game last week. He said, and as they were walking off the field, Max Crosby was screaming at the top of his lungs at a teammate. He was just like, "You don't ever fucking do that." And he was screaming and yelling. And that should have given me a hint that there was going to be some talk in the locker room about them coming out. Because they came out and played their best game of the year. They ended up losing because they're a terrible team. But there definitely was something in the locker room this week for the Raiders where they came out and played much, much harder and gave the Texans more of a game than they should have. CJ Stroud gets out-dueled by Geno Smith. That's not going to happen very often. So, the Raiders just played their best game of the year. And it's happens. You're going to do that. And it just so happens they didn't win it, but they played their best game of the year. So that's the way it goes. And that's why you're a fool if you bet NFL football.
Jim?
Yeah, we didn't have any trends leaning towards the side on this game. There were trends leaning towards if you'd like to bet the money line. 14 points was just outrageous. The only trends we had on this game were straight up trends. Texans being 11-5 straight up at home. Straight up doesn't cover that 14 by any means. It just tells you they're going to win the game. Favorites of 4 points or more going into this game, 81 and 31-1 straight up. So that was a strong number if you want to bet the money line on this game. But again, we talked about betting the money line. Even if you threw this game on the parlay, with a 14-point spread, they figured the spread into the money line as to how much they're going to actually pay out to you. So this was inconsequential. I mean, on a $100 bet, you're only increasing your payout on a 4 or 5 team parlay by maybe $21, and that's really not worth the risk, especially in the National Football League. Maybe in college, we have a more honest game, but not the pros.
Yeah. Let's look at this one. This is a brutal loss for the Ravens. And they lost Lamar Jackson, hurt his back, I believe. Patriots win 28-24, Mike.
Yeah, Ravens, they were never really the Ravens the whole year. They had that 5 or 6 game winning streak that brought them back into it. But they're starting and finishing the same way, out of sorts. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Derrick Henry had 18 carries, 128 yards. He doesn't touch the ball. The last 12 minutes of the game, he doesn't touch.
So weird.
How the fuck do you do that when you're trying to win a football game? Maybe incentives, maybe money. I don't know. That could be true.
They gambling. That's what's happening.
That could very well be. I just think Lamar, you probably should sit him down. You're not going to make the playoffs. Probably should sit him down. Drake May, great numbers. I still just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to be a great player. I just don't think he is yet. I think he's taken advantage of some good situations. I don't see the phenomenal throws everybody else talks about. I see a very solid, smart quarterback with good physical tools, not great, but very good physical tools, who doesn't make mistakes and has probably a Pro Bowl future. Well, I think he made the Pro Bowl. Solid future, but I mean, I don't see greatness in Drake May yet. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Seahawks end up playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl and Drake May carves this up. Maybe I'll change my mind then. But, I mean, I'm just happy for our buddy Ramondre, who scored a touchdown. And,
our buddy Ramondre. That sounds like My Lunch with Andre. My buddy Ramondre. That could be a movie. We could do a remake.
Ramondre, that's an obscure reference, Brian.
You're welcome for that. I did live in Hollywood, and I did take multiple film appreciation courses. Speaking of greatness, though, thank you to the great Deb from Sacramento throwing $5 into the tip jar. Merry Christmas, she says to Brian and Nimbus, and of course, Al of the crew, Nimbus.
Everybody will get a $1 gift card from
stipend.
This was our third best bet of the week. The Patriots and Ravens. I didn't understand the line when it came out, and I still don't understand it. The line came out. Ravens favored by 2.5.
It made no sense.
No, the game was bet up to 3.5. So the money was coming in on Baltimore in this game, and I didn't get it. You know, it's not a division game; it's a conference game. We met with Joranne Stevenson a couple of days ago, Regina and I, and we gave her a Christmas present, and I showed her our bet, you know, and I thanked her. You know, I saved it on my phone, and I said, you know, Ramondre should have, you know, your son should have got the game ball in that game. I mean, he had an outstanding run. I mean, up the sideline and scored a touchdown. I mean, he just Ramondre just looked good. I mean, he looked great, you know, and he was well worth the price of admission in this game. The Patriots going into this game 10-1 straight up, 8-3 against the spread, and on the road they were 6-0 straight up. Now they're 7-0 straight up, 6-1 against the spread on the road. Drake May 9-4 against the spread on the road. Mike Vrabel, 27. Now he's 28-14 against the spread as a dog of 3 points or more. I mean, this game just screamed New England, you know, and I did not understand the point spread. And it was, you know, I'm not one to celebrate anybody getting injured, but when Lamar took that shot to his left rib cage, I mean, that was game over. I mean, they weren't going to win the game. They weren't going to come back. They weren't covering a point spread. They weren't coming close. So
there's a lot of talk,
New England all the way, you know, and we cashed the ticket.
There's a lot of talk in Baltimore about it's time to get rid of John Harbaugh and move on.
Oh,
so,
my goodness.
What do you think? I mean, Izzy, what do you think about that one?
19 seasons there.
Yeah, it seems a little bit of a Mike Tomlin situation happening in Baltimore rather than Mike Tomlin going barely over 500. The Ravens actually make the playoffs, but they don't do anything, just like the Cowboys. But yeah, maybe. I mean, he's successful with the scheme he has up for Lamar. Besides that, I mean, what he won him 2 MVPs with it. No big receivers, all 5'10" lower receivers.
Mike Tomlin is over 500 every year.
Yeah, every year. Yeah.
Never had a losing season.
Yep.
Yeah, but you know, when I got to Minnesota, it was the same with Dennis Green. Like 5 straight years of over 500 and making the playoffs and winning like one playoff game.
Yeah.
And then
They
people
are who they thought they were.
Yeah, we are.
That should be called coaching stat padding, in my opinion. But as far as this game, I saw someone on X say that the Ravens are the only team in the league that will go against a 2-10 team and play like a 2-10 team, and go against a 10-2 team and play like a 10-2 team. They'll play to the ability of their opponent, and I mean, we've seen it all year, especially with the Bills game earlier this year. It was like 40-44, some crazy numbers.
Yeah,
so
that's a good analogy. Water seeks its own level.
Yep. So,
well, let's bounce off that to our final game of last week. The Indianapolis Colts are continuing their slide post quarterback injury, a la the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They fall to 8-7 now. They look to potentially to be on the fast track to the number 1 seed in the AFC. How quickly a month and a half can change your expectations.
One thing before we start, the Colts, in order to make the playoffs, they have to win out, and I believe the Jags have to lose out in the next 2 games.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Or the Texans. Yeah, they have to win against the Jags, and the Jags. Yeah, both teams win and lose out.
Good point. So take that into your factoring when you bet.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mike, the Santa Clara Purdy's. Man, he threw for 5 touchdowns.
Santa Clara McCaffrey's. Yeah. Purdy looked good. Purdy looked good. I mean, the night and day aspect of the Colts defense from last week where they refused to give up a touchdown to the Seahawks to this week where they gave up 48 points to the Santa Clara McCaffrey's. I don't understand what happened there. They didn't look like the same team at all. And I think it's a team that it doesn't have much to play for anymore. They kind of know it's over. And Grandpa Rivers could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It was kind of okay.
Could have been
He's
worse.
playing better than 15 other quarterbacks at the moment.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
Yeah, not and I'll tell you what, just an awful time for, once again, this is the woe is me fantasy football time. Jonathan Taylor was like the league MVP. You had Jonathan Taylor on your team, you're going almost to the championship game regardless. And then the last month, the wheels have just fallen off.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of injuries, lose your quarterback that's so good at play action, all that stuff. That happens.
Always.
It's too bad because the Colts got off to a great start and then just faded. But I didn't think that the 49ers were going to lose this game, and I was hoping, but they didn't. And I don't get. And if it comes down to the last game of the season between the 49ers and the Seahawks, they only have 2 guys. 49ers have McCaffrey and Kittle, and George Brittle is injured half the time. I mean, even during the games, he goes out for stretches where he's got something being repaired with duct tape or something. How do you let the same 2 guys beat you on every important play? I mean, just bracket the guy. Put your best defender on McCaffrey and say, follow him everywhere. I don't get it. I don't get why you can't game plan for these guys. But teams just don't do it. And I'm not saying the Seahawks are immune to that. They didn't do much against Puka last week, but yeah, they had some guys. But
Jim, thoughts on this one? 21-point victory.
Yeah, I didn't play this game. The only thing I had on it were the fact that favorites of 4 points or more were 81-31 and 1 straight up. If I would have bet this game, I probably would have put San Francisco on the money line. Colts were kind of mediocre going into this. They were 8-6 against the spread as far as a betting standpoint. But Rivers put up a good show. The first part of the game. I was out grocery shopping with Regina during this game, so I didn't actually make it until the beginning of the fourth quarter. So I missed watching the game, but I kind of feel bad for Phillip. I kind of wanted him to win the game.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was a fun story just off the bench. I loved it. My dad loves the time in the Browns history when there was an NFL strike in, 85, 86 or something. They were using scab players, Don Strock, Mike Pagel. They were coming in and getting all these random wins with random quarterbacks. We were down to like 5 or 6 or 7 quarterbacks. He said that was his favorite time watching the NFL. It was just
Don Strock.
Don
Pagel. That's good scab player knowledge right there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm full of random stuff today. My dinner with Don Strock. Okay, well then that wraps up the games of last week. Jim, we got we can stretch it to 30 minutes more. Let's get to your picks. Mike, do you have them pulled up, good sir?
I can do that.
On your Twitter X feed. By the way, follow Mike. He's at seahawkboymikeb and also Mike Bara 333. Follow the Unhappy Hour at the Unhappy Hour _, and American _media _ Ez'Ryel is Ryel EZ on X.
I'm sharing.
Yes, I do see. And kaboom, we are going to make a pirate account for Jim one of these days, and we're going to get
Jim. What are we starting with?
The Cowboys and the Redskins.
Okay. Well, Giants, Raiders. Let's go. Steelers, Cowboys, Redskins. Let's go, Jimothy. It's all you.
Okay. There's been there's been a lot of money coming in on this game. You probably don't have the updated number on this. This game opened Cowboys 6.5, road favorite. This was bet up to 7. It is now 7.5. So all the money is going in on the Cowboys, whether it's smart money or whether it's public money. Dak Prescott 20-3 straight up versus his own division. He is 32-13 against the spread versus the NFC East. Dak is 31-14 against the spread as a favorite of 6 points or more. This number has widened since last week. Favorites of 4 points or more for you moneyline degenerates, 87-32-1 straight up. So if you like the money line in this game, you're getting pretty good odds on it. Redskins are 18-17 against the spread, 50-50. Redskins are 2-3 straight up at home versus the Cowboys. They are 4-7 straight up overall versus the Cowboys. And the Redskins are, big stat here, the Redskins are 2-12 straight up versus the Cowboys when Dak starts. So that's a big number.
Yeah.
So this might be a good money line bet, even though neither one of these teams have anything to play for. But it's like Izzy mentioned earlier, 15 minutes ago. Keep that in mind. Neither one of these teams are going anywhere. Not this year. But the Cowboys players, they play hard. So I think the money line's a pretty solid bet. Any thoughts on this game, guys?
No, I like the Cowboys too. I mean, that's where I might actually bet that game. But
yeah, we beat the Commanders last year when our playoff hopes were done. It was unexpected, and I expected the Commanders to win. So we should be able to beat them, especially Josh Johnson starting at quarterback as well.
Yeah.
For the Redskins? Yeah. Next game. Also, this is a Christmas Day game. I've got both of these games, the Dallas game and the Detroit game on Netflix. So I guess if you don't have Netflix, you ain't watching the game. That means I am not watching the game. We canceled our Netflix subscription a couple of years ago. Lions are a 7.5 point favorite. This game opened at 6. It was bet up to 7, and now it is 7.5 versus the Vikings. The over/under in this game is not a large number for this division. It's 43.5. It's been bet down. It opened at 44.5, and it's been bet down to 43.5. All these numbers are through Boyd Sports, also Mike and I's casino up the street, the Suncoast. The Lions are 45-18 straight up. They are 17-14 against the spread, not a big number. Jared Goff is 22-8 against the spread on the road. The Lions are 16-1 straight up after losing a game. They are 14-2 against the spread after losing a game. The Lions are 2-3 straight up versus the Vikings in Somalia Town, and the Lions are 6-5 straight up versus the Vikings, the last 11. Jared Goff is 40-18 against the spread indoors. Favorites of 4 points or more, 87-32-1 straight up. These two stats are pretty much 50-50. The Vikings are 5-5 against the spread as a dog, and they are 5-3 against the spread when they are a dog of 4 points or more. So J.J. McCarthy is been ruled out. He's not playing. And I think Carson Wentz went on IR a couple of weeks ago, right? So who's a quarterback?
Max Brosmer.
Max Brosmer,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I kind of like this game. I'm not crazy about the 7.5. I think the play on this game was probably a couple of days ago when this number came out, when it was 6. 6 was a good number. I'm not gonna tout that 7.5, but I think the Lions win this game convincingly. I might hit this game. Next game, Broncos. This game is also a Christmas game. This is being played 5:15 p.m. Pacific time. This is on Amazon Prime. 63 degrees and cloudy game time. The Broncos are opened as a 13-point favorite. They've been bet up to 13.5. So the money is coming in on the Broncos. Denver is 11-24 straight up on the road. Not real great. They are 6-9 against the spread in 2025. Broncos are 11-7 against the spread as a favorite. This is a good number if you want to bet the money line on this. You're not going to get any value because of the 13.5, but the Broncos are 12-1 straight up and 8-5 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. And yes, the Chiefs are losers this year. Favorites of 4 points or more are 87, 32-1 straight up. Double-digit favorites come into play in this game. Double-digit favorites are 20-17 against the spread, but they are 36-4 straight up. Double-digit favorites. Chief, they are 6-8 against the spread. They are 5-0 straight up at home versus the Broncos, though. They are 17-3 straight up versus the Broncos. The Chiefs are 13-4-1 against the spread as a dog. The Chiefs are 12-6 straight up as a dog. But the Chiefs are 1-8 against the spread versus teams with winning records. I got Mahomes on here. Take that off. Gardner Minshew is 12-22 against the spread. No Mahomes. Mahomes is out for the year. So this is, I would say this is money line or no play.
Yeah, Broncos money line makes the most sense here because they are going to bounce back, and the Chiefs are not putting up a fight anymore.
Yeah, if you want to construct a 5 or 6 team money line, I would go ahead and throw the Broncos on that. And the Broncos, they got embarrassed by the Jaguars, and we talk about teams that bounce back when they're embarrassed, and the Broncos are one of those teams that will bounce back after being beat the week before. Anything on this game, Mike?
No, just what I just said. I think the only bet there is Broncos money line. I don't see them losing to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the Chiefs have just seemingly given up on the season after last week's performance, and I don't think they're going to be that embarrassed that they're going to fight back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Broncos money line is not a bad bet.
Yeah, one more thing. Chris Olodokun is starting at quarterback for the Chiefs.
Chris Olodokun.
Oh, really?
Whatever that is.
Yep. I mentioned it. You were gone. Christmas Day is going to have three pretty fun guys to watch.
So Gardner Minshew is not going to start?
No. Chris Olodokun.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take that off my board here real quick.
If you bet Cowboys, Lions, and Broncos on the money line, you bet $20, you win $12.89.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty safe bet to bet against the Chiefs all the rest of the year. By the way, regardless of who's.
Yeah, but the risk of the payout isn't worth. In other words, the juice ain't worth the squeeze on that.
Great point.
Yeah. Next game, Texans at Chargers. This is the Saturday game. This is the early Saturday game. It's 1:30 p.m. Pacific time is kickoff. This is on the NFL Network. Chargers are a 1.5 point favorite right now. The Texans are 4-5 straight up and against the spread versus teams with winning records. Chargers are 16-6 against the spread versus the AFC. But they are only 6-9 straight up versus teams with winning records. So this game could go either way. I'm not crazy about this game. I will not be betting this game.
Well, yeah, Chargers, to keep pace with the Broncos, need to win, and they still have a shot. And the Texans are like 98% playoff odds anyway, so they're pretty much in. So they could afford to lose the game. I think you got to like the Chargers at home. I'm not sure I'd give the points, but I kind of like San Diego here.
Yeah, taking effect, the O-line versus that D-line is going to be a pretty substantial game for Justin Herbert to play.
Yeah, I won't be playing this game at all. I don't believe that, especially teams like the Texans. I mean, they've got a top 5 defense. They're gonna limit the Chargers to scoring. In fact, the over/under in this game reflects that fact. The over/under in this game is 39.5. So don't expect a lot of scoring in this game just based on the Texans' defense. The next game is also a Saturday game. This game is on Peacock. So I don't think I'll be watching this game either. It's Ravens at Packers. This game opened Green Bay 2.5. It has been bet up to 3. Game time 39 degrees and cloudy. So it's probably not going to be a snow game in Green Bay. Ravens are 5-10 against the spread this year. The Packers are 21-7 straight up in December and January during the regular season. So the play here would probably be on Green Bay, and it's like we talked about with Izzy earlier in the show. We really don't know who's playing quarterback. I think Jordan Love is still nursing his hamstring or whatever injury he has, and Malik Willis injured his shoulder in the last game. So next man up.
Yeah, this one to me comes to if Lamar plays, they're trying. If Lamar doesn't play, they're not trying. So
if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, I mean, Packers don't desperately need their win. They can still get in with like a 9. So the Packers are basically in and the Ravens are basically out. Like both are less than a 10% chance. So I just think you got to favor the Packers at home.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I've just checked. There's no update on Lamar Jackson's injuries, but I would think after that game on a short week, he's going to sit out. And that's basically, if he does, that's the Ravens putting up the white flag.
Yeah, the rest of these games are Sunday games, except for the Monday Night Football game. The first 7 games here are going to be the early games on Sunday. The first one, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Game time, temperature 54 degrees and rain. The Steelers opened at 3.5-point favorite. They have been bet down to 3. So there is Cleveland money coming in on this game. The Steelers are 7-4 straight up versus the Browns. They are 27-5 straight up versus rookie quarterbacks. So that's a number to look at. Mike Tomlin usually does real well against rookie quarterbacks.
By the way, one interesting point, Myles Garrett might get a chance to break the NFL single-season sack record against Mason Rudolph. How fitting. We'll see.
So Mason Rudolph is starting in this game?
I thought, well, okay, maybe not. I don't know. I thought he was dinged up, Rodgers, but maybe he wasn't. I read that somewhere. I digress. I'll pull that one back.
No, everything I've seen, Rodgers will start.
Okay. All right. My bad.
Steelers, teams that played the Lions the week
One
before,
thing.
which Pittsburgh did.
Uh,
Go ahead, Iz.
yeah. Wasn't the guy tweet when Strahan broke the record? Wasn't it against Brett Favre? The final sack for the sack record.
Don't recall. Might have been.
Yeah, because there's this one guy who held the stat before. He went up to Brett Favre and he's like, "Oh, why'd you let him? Like, why'd you go down?" Because Brett Favre, he purposely he just tucked the ball and just let Strahan do it.
I do sort of remember that. Yeah.
No. Izzy's right. That was Strahan.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was Brett Favre. So back on the career path of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre doing the same thing. The sack record get broken with Aaron Rodgers.
And did you see Mark Gastineau go after Brett Favre at some sports memorabilia thing?
Event or something.
You laid down like a
Why'd
dog.
you lay down?
Wow.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just their careers being pretty much the same. So
okay,
throw that out there.
Good. Yes. Thank you for correcting that, because I thought I read somewhere that Rodgers might it might come down to the helmet swinging of Myles Garrett on Mason Rudolph.
Brett Favre just rolled out and laid down and let Strahan touch him. And that was a sack.
In defense of Brett Favre, Gastineau wasn't real liked in the NFL, from what I know. In fact, I was friends with Gastineau's roommate when he was with the Jets.
Well, and it was his late hit that gave the Cleveland Browns a chance in 86, 87. We came back in that overtime win in the playoffs, too. Yeah. It was Gastineau being stupid. Anyway, that all being said, gentlemen, I have a hard out in about 10 minutes, 12 minutes if we push it. So I think let's all make our NFL picks, but let's really just focus on getting through all of the betting trends.
Should we skip the picks?
We'll all make our picks.
I'll horse through these pretty quick. Awesome. Steelers, teams that play the Lions are 8-19 straight up. They are 7-20 against the spread the week after. That would apply to the Steelers. The Browns are 22-36 against the spread after a loss. They are 4-1 straight up at home versus the Steelers. So they play well against the Steelers at home. The Browns are 12-22 against the spread versus their own division. So if you want to go ahead and take 3 points, go ahead and take Cleveland in this game. The Jaguars at the Colts. The Jaguars are 1-4 straight up versus the Colts at Indy. The Jaguars are 6-4 straight up versus the Colts. They are 11-0 against the spread versus the Colts. That's ATS. But the Jaguars coming off that Denver game. New stat here. Jaguars, teams that played in Denver the week before are 1-6 straight up. They are 0-7 against the spread the week after. I went back and went through those games for the whole season. Jaguars, teams that play the Broncos are 3-11 straight up the week after. That would apply to whether the Broncos are at home or on the road. Favorites of 4 points or more are 87, 32, and 1 straight up. The Colts are 7-3 against the spread versus the AFC. Colts are 8-7 against the spread. Colts, their bugaboo. They played Santa Clara last week. Teams that play Santa Clara are 21-37 straight up the week after. And they also played Monday Night Football. Teams that play Monday Night Football the week before are 15-16 straight up, but they are 12-18-1 against the spread the week after. So this game looks like, on face value, I would go ahead and take the 6.5 and take Indy and let Phillip have his first win. But I do not, based on all these numbers, they're just all over the board. I won't play this game. Next game, Buccaneers. They are a 5.5-point favorite. They opened at 5.5. They're still 5.5. Game time, 80 degrees and sunny in this game. The Bucs are 17-8 against the spread on the road. Baker is 8-11 against the spread as a favorite last 2 years. Dolphins 12-26 against the spread as a dog, and they are 3-7 against the spread at home. Remember, no Tua in this game. He's been benched. Probably Quinn Ewers again in this game. Patriots, they are a 13.5-point favorite in this game. It opened 13.5. It's still 13.5. 37 degrees and rain in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Patriots are 8-1 against the spread versus the Jets. They are 3-1 straight up versus the Jets in East Rutherford. Patriots are 11-1 straight up and 9-3 against the spread. They are 7-0 straight up and 6-1 against the spread on the road. Patriots are 21-6 against the spread as a double-digit favorite since 2015. Drake May is 9-4 against the spread on the road. Favorites of 4 points or more, 87, 32, and 1 straight up. Double-digit favorites, 20-17 against the spread, 36-4 straight up. New Jersey is 6-5 against the spread as a dog. Jets are 1-12 straight up versus teams with winning records. Let me repeat that: 1-12 straight up. So this is one of your degenerate money line bets. Terod is 7-3-1 against the spread. A lot of numbers in that game. Next game, Saints opened at 3. They are still a 3-point favorite against Nashville. Temperature in Nashville game time 75 degrees and cloudy. The Titans are 9-23 against the spread. They are 4-12 against the spread at home. Saints are kind of on a heater the last couple of weeks. They've won a couple of games. I probably expect them to go in and win this game also. Seahawks. This game opened at 7.5. It's been bet down to 7 now against the Panthers. Seahawks have had a lot of East Coast games, a lot of travel to the East Coast this year. Seahawks are 12-1 straight up and 10-3 against the spread on the road. Pretty good number. Sam Clemente is 12-0 straight up as a favorite of 6 points or more. Another solid number. Favorites of 4 or more points are 87, 32, and 1 straight up. You going to hit this game, Mike?
I don't like 7. I think it's a field goal game, but I do think the Seahawks probably win it. It's a 10 a.m. game too, which bothers me. And even though they've improved in 10 a.m. games, I expect a very sluggish first half and the Seahawks to squeak it out in the second half. That's what I think. Yeah. Panthers are a good team. At some point, maybe they'll get down by a few and they'll say, well, we got next week against Tampa Bay. Let's save our juice for that. And, so I think 7's too much. If it was 5, I'd think about it, but
no. Yep. Cardinals at Bengals. Bengals are a 7-point favorite. They opened at 7. They're still 7. Over under is 53.5. Cardinals are 26-11 against the spread on the road. Joe Burrow 8-0 straight up, week 16 through 18, the last 3 weeks of the season. So he is a good quarterback the last 3 weeks. He is 9-2 straight up the last 11. Favorites of 4 points or more, 87, 32, and 1 straight up. 7's a pretty big number in this game. Cardinals are ass. So I looked to see the Bengals cover this number in this game. This game has been all over the board. The next one, the Giants are at Las Vegas. This game opened as
talk about an ass game.
Yeah,
God.
this is the consummate corner TV game.
If you gave me free tickets to this, I would not drive 25 minutes down to Allegiant Stadium to watch.
No,
Well,
it
not
cost,
for I probably.
it cost you more for the ride.
It cost me more for the parking. You can park in Crazy Horse 3's park.
This game opened at the Raiders being favored 1.5, believe it or not. This game has flip-flopped 3 points. It's now Giants -1.5 in this game. So the Giants are favored in this game. So these stats here, as the Giants being a dog, if you bet it now, they don't apply. The only number that applies here is Geno Smith is 7-15-1 against the spread at home. So
keep in mind that Brock Bowers is out for this one. They shut him down for the season.
Well, that probably would explain the 3-point swing there. So this is a no bet on this game. It's not even a watchable game. So,
all right, can we do the rest of them in 5 minutes, folks? Is there any chance we can knock these out in 5 minutes?
Yep. Eagles at Bills. This game opened at 2.5. It's been bet down to 1.5. The Bills are favored. Eagles are 23-13 against the spread. They're 5-3 straight up versus teams with a winning record. Buffalo is 16-1 straight up at home. They are 12-0 straight up at home in December and January. The Bills are 19-16 against the spread. They are 11-3 straight up versus the NFC. And the Bills are 16-7 straight up versus playoff teams.
By the way, Raiders Giants tickets this weekend are going for $61.
That's probably $60.
Let's go, Jim. Let's all go to the game.
Your mother goes. No. Next game, I'll probably hit the Bills on that game, Eagles and Bills. Bears at 49ers. Santa Clara is a 3-point favorite. They opened at 3. They're still 3. The Bears are 11-2 straight up. They are 5-3 straight up on the road. Big Clock Brock, he is 16-7 against the spread at home. And teams that play Monday Night Football the week before are 15-16 straight up, 12-18-1 against the spread the week after. Bears are on a heater. This is a tough game to call. Like Mike said, Brittle Kittle is out. So
George Brittle, yeah.
Yeah. Monday night game. Rams are 8.5 point favorite. This game opened at 8.5. It's still 8.5. Rams are 18-7 against the spread. They're 10-3 against the spread as a favorite. The Rams are 9-1 against the spread as a road favorite. They are 11-2 against the spread on the road. The Rams are 18-3 against the spread in December. Matthew is 17-3 straight up December and January, regular season. Favorites of 4 or more, 87-32-1 straight up. The Falcons, 10-16 against the spread as a dog. The Falcons are 6-3 against the spread and straight up Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night. So they're a good night team. Kirk Cousins kind of cancels that out. He's 8-13 straight up Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night. And Kirk Cousins is 6-16 straight up indoors. And those are your stats for the week.
All right. Well, I think on today's program, that's where we're going to leave it with the hard out that we have to have today. Let me remove this from the screen. Mike, you want to tell anybody about where to follow you, any upcoming shows or any words of wisdom? Whoop, hang on. Keep toggling your screen. There we go, Mike.
Taking Christmas off. Going to bake some Christmas cookies later. I got, just for this week, just so everybody knows, so you can catch me in a lie. I got Cowboys, Lions, Broncos Chargers, Packers, Bengals, Jags, Patriots, Saints, Steelers, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Raiders, Eagles, Bears, Rams.
Okay, fine. I'll do it too real fast. I'll show you what I picked. I got Dallas, Detroit, Denver, Houston, Cincy, Green Bay, Indy, New England, Cleveland, New Orleans, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Philly, New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Izzy?
Hold on.
Caveman style. Jim, who do you have?
Did I share, Brian?
Yes, sir. Who do you got?
I'm there.
Did it pull up? There we go.
Okay. I got Cowboys, Lions. Oh, by the way, I'm 153 and 87. Where are you at, Mike?
155 and 85.
Whoa. Okay. You had a good week.
Yeah,
I'm
14 and 2.
148 and 92.
What's that, Brian?
148 and 92 for me.
You're
Okay.
close.
Close,
You're not
but no
good.
taco.
Yellow.
I got Denver winning the game against Kansas City. I'll take San Diego against Houston. I got Green Bay beating the Ravens. I got Cincinnati beating the Cardinals. I'll go ahead and take Indy to beat the Jaguars without the points. I'll go ahead and take the Ramondre Stevensons against the Jets. We'll go with the Saints against Nashville. I will go. I'll take Brian's Browns to beat the Steelers. I got Seattle to beat Carolina. Santa Clara will beat Miami. New Jersey will beat Oakland. I will take Buffalo to beat the Eagles. And we'll take Santa Clara to beat Chicago. And I will take the Rams to beat the Falcons.
Nice.
All right.
Izzy, what you
Caveman. Dallas, Detroit versus Minnesota. I got Detroit. Denver, Kansas City. I'm taking Denver. Houston Chargers. I'm taking the Herberts. Green Bay and Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore because I don't know who's playing quarterback for Green Bay. Arizona, Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincy. Jacksonville, Indianapolis. I'm gonna rock with the Colts out for the rest of the season. New England's and Jets. I'm gonna take the Patriots. Tennessee, New Orleans. I'm gonna take Tennessee because Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Carolina, Miami, Tampa Bay, Miami, New York, Vegas, the Giants, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Chicago, San Francisco. I'm taking Santa Clara and the Rams over the Falcons.
I'm sorry. Did I catch a rock out with my Colts out? Is that the phrase you went with?
Yep.
Well played. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you for being here and everybody who's been here through 2 seasons and 22 episodes of Strictly Football here on the New American Media. Hit like, hit subscribe, super chats, rumble rants, all that jazz. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas.
We will check in with you next week. Words of wisdom, you already gave it to us, Jim, right?
Yeah, not the same team on 2 parlays. That's a big no-no. Don't do that. You'll ruin your Sunday.
It's the same team, 2 parlays.
That's what it means. All right. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon.
All right,
Take care,
church. Have a good
everybody.
time.